Bet horse racing on DRF Bets. We'll match your first deposit up to $250. Get free expert picks and past performances, plus weekly cash back, all from Daily Racing Form, the most trusted name in horse racing. Let's take a look at our top selections for Dan Illman, Mike Beer kicking off the 50-cent late pick 4 at Belmont Park on Friday with graded stakes action. It's the grade 3 Bed of Roses, fillies and mares, 7/8 of a mile. Before we get to the analysis, remember to head on over to DRF.com. It's Belmont Stakes Week. We've got the Belmont Stakes Winners Package. It includes past performances, exclusive clocker reports, betting strategies, and the Player's Guide. Head on over to DRF.com, 25% off the retail price. Here's the field for the Bed of Roses, Mike. All aboard the Chub Wagon. Undefeated in her career. We keep asking, how good is the Chub Wagon? And she always answers, I'm pretty good.
So far, yeah, she's answered in the affirmative every time. She's 6 for 6, Dan. I mean, I guess this is, the toughest test to date for her. I mean, it's not the strongest grade 3 in the world, but it is the toughest field she's faced so far.
Last time out in the Skipbat Stakes at Pimlico 3 weeks ago, she sat off another horse, but Timeform US has her on the early lead in a blue bar scenario. Advantage Chub Wagon if that plays out, and I have a feeling she's going to the lead. Check out that last workout at Parks, 4 furlongs, 44 and change.
I guess that means she's pretty fast. I don't see why they would try to take the speed away from her here, Dan. There's not a ton of pace signed on. She's fast. They should put her right on the lead.
Lake Avenue, the number 1's a back classer. She was a graded stakes winner as a 2-year-old. She may not have panned out as originally hoped, but she won a stakes race going a 1-turn mile, 2 starts back. And last time out in the Ruffian, she was the beaten favorite. I thought that pace might have quickened up a little bit during the middle part and hurt Lake Avenue just a little bit, compromised her finish. I like her as a late running sprinter. I think she needs to take a step forward.
She probably does, especially if Chub Wagon shows up with her good race. Here's what I think. I think Lake Avenue can win this race, Dan. I just think she's really hard to trust. She's a horse, as you mentioned, a graded stakes winner as a 2-year-old, never really developed all that much as a 3-year-old. Felt like she got back on form this year off the layoff with 2 nice wins around 1 turn, including the Heavenly Prize 2 back. I thought she ran well in the Heavenly Prize, even though that was a pretty weak field. Maybe you're right last time. Maybe the pace got heated up on her and it cost her. I thought she was bad last time.
Bianca, the number 2's cross-entered on turf at Belmont on Thursday. Wonder if Carlos Martin just entered to see if there's going to be wet weather and that gets washed off. She's a better dirt mare. Indiana bred. She's done some good things in her career, but she's got to improve against this field.
Yeah, and I just wonder how much improvement she can really find at this point, Dan. She's already 6 years old. She's run a lot. She's actually very consistent. She shows up and she runs every time. She is a stakes winner sprinting on this circuit, so she has that going for her. It just feels like she's going to need to catch some breaks to beat this field.
Big things were predicted for the number 3 Alondra after her career debut as a 2-year-old at Saratoga and just didn't pan out, although she's coming into this race in good form. Let's watch her most recent start at Belmont last month, 1-turn mile. She's on the inside. They all got a shot.
Yeah, the whole field's going to stack up here across the track. They're all in with a chance. It's not a very strong N1X field, Dan. Alondra has the best of it. She gets through on the inside, and then she's just going to sort of edge away from this field at the end. She ran fine in here. Her last 2 starts off the layoff, they're both new buyer tops. This is, Shug's MO. He gets these horses good through racing, and it feels like he's improving her. Can he improve her again?
Bayerness has always shown a little bit of ability. She looked good as a 2-year-old. She went 2 for 2. Heck, she beat a horse named Swiss Skydiver in her second lifetime start. At 3, she was multiple graded stakes place before the Kentucky Oaks. Something must have happened after the Kentucky Oaks, maybe a physical issue. Love how the connections gave her all the time she needed, and she came back firing last time out over a wet track. She might get a wet track again in New York on Friday. She beat 3 next out winners, and she overcame a wide trip and a slow pace.
Yeah, she really did. She ran really well off the layoff. I agree with you. Stuck on the outside every step of the way in there. Really game, not only to get it done, but to do it with a new top buyer. It feels like she really improved off the layoff. As you mentioned, a wet track is going to be no problem for her based on her only 2 starts over a sloppy track so far. I just feel like there's still better to come with her, Dan. And I like that they're at least for now, concentrated on sprinting. I don't think she got better at all when they stretched her out. I like that they cut her back.
Victim of Love's a two-time winner of the Vagrancy Handicap at Belmont Park. Let's watch the 2021 Vagrancy. She was close to a solid pace. She took this thing over on the turn. She glides home under Joel Rosario. This is a nice-looking performance for Victim of Love. And one of her great advantages is that she has the tactical speed to stay close to the pace. Timeform US doesn't believe this pace will be fast. Victim of Love could be in with a big shot turning for home.
Yeah, I agree. I think she's a major player in this race because it does feel like she can get another good trip in this race, Dan. She won the Vagrancy when they shipped her here last year as the longest shot on the board. It felt like maybe that race was a fluke. She proved it wasn't a fluke. She came back in her next start and finished third in a grade 1 at Saratoga. I thought she ran deceptively well off the layoff 2 starts back. She was good winning last time. She's a major player in here.
Chub Wagon won her first 5 starts in gate-to-wire fashion. In the ski pat last time out, she let another horse go. She sat down on the advantageous inside as they turned to the stretch. Irad eases her off the rail, and Chub Wagon has no problem passing. A nice horse up front. Don't let Sweet fool you.
Yeah, that horse is pretty nice, and Chub Wagon dispatches her pretty easily here, Dan. Just another effort for her where she's much the best. 6 for 6 so far, and it really hasn't been close in any of her races. Listen, again, this is the toughest field that she's faced so far, but it's not like she's meeting a bunch of killers in here, and it looks like she could be the lone speed in this race. To me, she's way the horse to beat.
Pacific Gale got very, very good for John Kimmel down at Gulfstream over the winter. 2 very impressive wins. In the inside information in Hurricane Birdie, somewhat shocking for a mare that could never win a race, it seemed, for years. Last time out in the Vagrancy, she ran okay. She was no match for Victim of Love, but she also broke poorly. I'm willing to give her a mulligan for that.
Yeah, you can give her an excuse for that race. She just didn't get out of the gate very well in there. After that, she got herself into a pretty good position. Raced on pretty gamely to the end, but was never a real threat. Maybe the break was enough of an excuse if you want to go back to her in this race. At least you'll get her at a better price this time because I don't think she's the kind of mare you want to be taking short prices on.
I think a horse that's very underrated is on the far outside. That's the 8, Estilo Talentoso. Let's analyze her races this form cycle. The Wayward Lass at Tampa Bay was a 2-turn race. She mid-moved into the teeth of a fast pace, and she ran pretty well off the layoff. She was very conservatively ridden in the Barbara Fritchie. I think that worked against her. Let's watch the Madison 2 starts back. She's 50-1 in this grade 1 race, and she's chasing a very talented horse named Kamari. She comes on the outside, doesn't change leads, but dead heats for second. And then last time out, pace compromised against one of the best sprinters in the country in Gamine.
Yeah, she was. I mean, she wasn't going to win that race last time. She was on the outside the entire way. I thought all in all, she did fine to be third in that race. She runs well in this race we're watching too, Dan. I mean, she's not going to be able to beat a horse like Kamari, but she, ran her eyeballs out there in the stretch to dead heat for second. She's got paired up 95 buyers. She's the only one. If you're just going to go strictly on figures, seems like she's the main threat to Chub Wagon in here based off of her last 2 races. We'll see what she does here. I personally like her. I'm getting a little bit tired of her, but I do feel like this is the best spot that she's been in a while.
Let's take a look at our top picks for the Bed of Roses Stakes. She's consistently fast, Estilo Talentoso. We both have her third, but Buyer Ness, I know you're a big fan of this horse, and I think she might be ready to take a big step forward. I think she's been managed very, very well. That last race was impressive.
Yeah, I liked her last race too, and I liked her going back to her 2-year-old form. So I'm happy to give her a shot here, Dan. It feels like the kind of race where it's probably the right spot to try her in another graded race because I don't think it's that tough, and I think it's the right distance for her. I want to try to get her at a price in here. I am not way against Chub Wagon. I think she's the horse to beat.
I hope I don't fall off the wagon here. This mare has been very, very good so far. We'll see. She steps up into grade stakes competition. I think she's got to just go to the front and play Catch Me If You Can. 6, 4, 8, and 3 for me. 4, 6, 8, and 5 for Mike. It's the grade 3 Bed of Roses at Belmont on Friday. Good luck.